Okay, so now I have the letter. It is time, but let's just open one and see. Ooh, I'm nervous. Okay, this says, okay, so if you clicked on this video thinking, Alexis, out of all people, went to court, yes, I did. Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna be talking about everything that happened, and at the end, I'm gonna open a letter that tells me whether I won or I lost. So as of to right now, I don't know if I won or I lost, so you guys are gonna be finding out with me. Also, by the way, Home Depot sponsor me. So I'm just gonna get straight into the story and tell you exactly what happened. A few months back, I was in the process of moving, so we decided to have a little yard sale because you know, that's what us Mexicans do. So my sister was planning on giving me her TV. It was a much bigger TV, so of course, why wouldn't I want it? So I decided I'm gonna sell my TV in the yard sale, why not? The day of the yard sale comes, I put my TV into the yard sale so everyone can see it, and I posted it on Facebook as well. There's like this buy and sale in our area, so I posted it on there so everyone can see it. So someone hits me up and is like, I want the TV, I'll go get it right now, will you take 180? And I was selling it for 200. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. So they said, okay, I'll be there in 30 minutes. So in the meantime, some man hit me up on Facebook and was like, I'll take it right now for 200. So I told him I already have someone that's coming that wants it, and I was gonna sell it to them for 180. And he was like, well, I'll take it for 200. I was like, okay, let me see what this person will say. So I hit up that person and I'm like, hey, someone wants it for 200. I don't know, are you okay with that? And they're like, yeah, go ahead, sell it to them. So I tell that man, I'm like, okay, they said you could take it. He's like, all right, awesome. And so I gave him my address, told him it was a yard sale. He was like, okay, cool. 30 minutes go by and he shows up. So I show him the TV and everything. I had an extension cord running through my kitchen into the garage so he can see that it works. So I turn on the TV and everything. I show him that it works. Show him that it turns on. I go through different HDMIs and I do all kinds of things so he can see that it works. So he's like checking it out behind and in front of it. It's like, okay, I'll take it. So I was like, okay, cool. He's also there with his daughter. He gets it, he puts it in the trunk of his car, and I look over at him and he's like talking to his daughter and looking at the TV, and I was like, what's wrong? So can you come here? And I was like, okay, what's going on? So he told me, I noticed there's a scratch in the middle of the TV. And personally, I have never seen that scratch in my life because the sun was like shining on the TV and I've never had the sun shining on the TV, so I never noticed it. But I told him, honestly, I've never seen it. I promise. If you don't want it, whatever. And he was like, okay, well, if anything's wrong with it, I'm going to come back. And I'm like, okay. Saying okay, knowing that there's nothing wrong with the TV. I knew in my mind there was nothing wrong, so I was like, okay, whatever. So he takes it home. 30 minutes pass by. He calls me up and is like, I don't like the quality on the TV. And I'm like, okay, that happened to me when I got the TV too. I just tinkered with the settings a little bit, so maybe do that. And so he was like, okay, I'll try it. Hangs up. And then later he calls me again and he's like, I got the TV to the quality I like, everything's fine. I was like, okay, cool. So the next day goes by, but the following day he calls me and he's like, I didn't answer because I couldn't, at the time, I didn't see the call. So he leaves a message and he's like, the TV keeps turning off and on. I don't know what's wrong with it. If I can't get it to work, I want to bring it back. At this point, I'm like, how do I know that he didn't do something to the TV, drop it? I don't know. So honestly, I'm like scared. So I told my dad and I was like, Dad, what do I do? There was nothing wrong with the TV when I sold it. And he was like, just don't text him back, see if it starts working. So the next day he texts me and he's like, hey, I plugged it into a power strip and it's working. So I was like, okay, cool, awesome, perfect, I don't gotta worry about it. And so I didn't. But the next day goes by and he calls me. So I didn't answer again because my dad told me not to. He's like, the TV is turning off and on again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what do you expect me to do? You bought this from a yard sale. I told you it worked perfectly fine because it did. And so even from when I sold it to him, I had a bad vibe about this guy. I had a feeling like this guy is just, I don't know. I just had a bad feeling. But so I tell my dad, I'm like, Dad, this guy keeps calling me, texting me. I don't know what to do because I didn't do anything wrong. So my dad texts him, and my dad's being nice. And yeah, he wasn't being really like of a good sport back. The whole time we're being good sports. So he tells my dad, if you don't give me my money back, I'm going to take it to court. So my dad was like, okay, go ahead, let us take it to court, see what the judge has to say. So my dad, of course, runs it by me. It's like, is that okay? Do you want to go to court? And I'm like, yeah, of course. See what the judge has to say. I think like a month passes by, and his brother comes to our door, gives me a paper. He was like, I'm sorry, I had nothing to do with this, but I'm serving you for court. I'm like, okay, it's okay. Take the paper, and the court date was June 26th, I believe. So June 26th rolls by. So me and my dad go, and we're sitting there waiting for them to let everybody in. I'm looking for the guy, but I don't see him. And I look at a sign, and it says no shorts or hat. So I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna let you in. He's like, I don't know either. So I'm scared. I wasn't really scared. I was just like, I don't know. I've never done this before, so I was just like uneasy about it. But yeah, finally I see the guy. I'm like, Dad, that's him. And the guy like gives me a look. I'm like, chill. Like, he's literally like maybe 50, 60 years old, and I'm literally a 19-year-old girl. But anyways, they finally let everybody in. So my dad tries to walk in, but they're like, sir, you cannot be in here. And my dad just looks at me, and the officer was like, are you a witness? And my dad's like, yeah. He's like, okay, well, we'll let you in here when her session is up. So he hands me his phone, which has all the texts with them. And I go sit down, and the man sits right in front of me, and I look. He has literally a folder, and I'm like, okay, what is in that folder? So we're waiting, and some girl calls us to a room. And basically she tried to resolve it before we went to the judge. So she was asking us exactly what happened, and she was like, okay, is there any way you guys want to resolve this? And I felt like she was like making me make the decision. So like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know. I've never been to court. I'm not a criminal. So she asked me, she was like, do you want to make an offer to him? And I'm just like sick of this. So I tell him, I'll give you an offer of $100. And he's like, nope. I'm like, okay, and I know in my mind that's all I'm gonna offer, because that took a lot of me to offer $100 knowing I did nothing. She was like, okay, anything else you want to offer? Asking me. I'm like, tell him to offer. So he told me, he was like, I know you're young and everything, so I'll offer $150 you give me back. And I just said no, because 100 was the lowest I was gonna go. So I was like, no, I'm not doing $150. At the point, I was like, I wish my dad was here so we can make the decision together. But I didn't even think at the time. But yeah, we didn't resolve the problem, which means we take it to the judge next. Right when we walk out, there was nobody in the courtroom, so it was our turn. So we call my dad in there, and they ask for him to tell his story. This man breaks out with the folder with printed text messages, a printed picture of the picture I posted on Facebook. Like, he's just taking it to extreme. Like, it's not even that big of a deal. Yeah, he's telling them his story. The judge is asking them questions and everything. And then after that, he told us to tell our story. So I told my story and everything. Then he asked for the witness, which my dad. So my dad says everything he needs to say, and the judge was kind of being a jerk to my dad. Honestly, it kind of seemed that it wasn't looking too good for us. So part of me feels like I didn't win, but I don't know, it's just so frustrating that like you do nothing and you get blamed for doing something. But yeah, like I said, we felt that it wasn't looking too good for us. And the judge, he goes and makes a comment, was like, if that were me, I would just donate the TV. And everybody in the courtroom laughs. Like, why you gotta make that comment? Like, this is a court session, be serious, you know. So it ends. The judge tells us, okay, I'm gonna send you a letter in the mail. It'll come to you within 4 to 6 weeks. So yeah, as we're leaving out of the room, we hold the door open for him and everything. And me and my dad were being good sports about everything. So my dad tells him, hey, so whatever the judge says happens. And he was like, yeah, well, if she loses, it's gonna look bad on her credit. I feel like he was just trying to scare me, but honestly, dude, you weren't doing anything. And he was like, and they asked us if we wanted to they asked us if we wanted to resolve it, and she offered 100 and I offered 150, but we both said no. And my dad looks at me, he was like, wait, I didn't know this. Like, we could have resolved it together. Like, do you want to go back to the judge and resolve it? And the guy was like kind of shrugging my dad off. So my dad was being like a good sport. Like, he was offering that he'll pay him, but he was just like, whatever. And so his daughter comes and he's like, oh, there's my daughter. And so my dad was like, so do you want to go back to the judge and resolve this? And he has the audacity to say, no, I know I'm going to win anyways. And he walks away. That made me and my dad so mad, but we just kept our cool. We didn't say anything. So yeah, it's been 4 to 6 weeks. I don't know how long it's been. I think exactly a month. It's been a month. I finally got the letter. I don't know. I've been trying not to stress over it too much. I've been praying and I've been putting it in God's hands, trying to be positive about it, you know, not trying to sweat it too much. So yeah, that's everything that happened. That's why I went to court. Nothing too serious. I didn't murder anybody. Okay, so now I have the letter. It is time. Let's just open one and see. Ooh, I'm nervous. Okay, so this says defendant does not owe plaintiff, however you say it, any money on plaintiff's claim. So I think that means I won. Dude, are you serious? I didn't think I was gonna win. Yeah, I guess this means I won. Dude, I didn't think I was gonna win. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna take it to my dad and see what he says, but like, I think it says I won. And the guy hasn't texted me, so I thought to myself, maybe that means I won. Oh my gosh. Dude, I'm so happy. Like, this is the best news I need right now. Like, if I lost, that was the last thing I would have wanted. I can't believe this. Like, I'm shaking. It says defendant does not owe plaintiff, however you say it, any money on plaintiff's claim. So I think that means I won, guys. I think I seriously won. I don't know. I'm actually really happy right now, if that's what it means. Let's go take this to my dad and see what he says. Okay, let's go.
No, you can't tell us. You have to watch the YouTube video.
She's recording it.
Yeah, I'm gonna see. Like, does this mean I won or lost? No, I think I know what it means. There's a check mark.
Yeah.
That's what he gets for being a poor sport.
Does not owe plaintiff any money on plaintiff's claim.
Jesus.
I know, I was praying and praying.
That's what that boy gets. Now he says, I know I'm gonna win.
Exactly what I was gonna say. I didn't think we were gonna win. Like, it looked bad.
I'm gonna go take that judge some ice cream.
I did. Dang, and he was like, I took someone else to court before and I won.
Yeah.
Not this one, buddy.
That's why he hasn't contacted us.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Jonathan said last night, he's like, I think if you won, then he would text you and be like, you owe me money.
So I was right. You had it for 2 days.
And I just kept praying. And I just said, I'm gonna leave it in God's hands. I was trying not to stress about it. Okay, so here's proof that I won. As you see, it's check marked. And it says, defendant does not owe plaintiff, however you say it, any money on plaintiff's claim. Alright, so there you have it. I won. I can't believe it, honestly. But honestly, that's what he gets for being a little jerk about it. I'm sorry, but it's true. We were good sports about it. And I'm so glad that we were good sports about it. We were nice to him that whole time. And we prayed. And I prayed. I was like, God, please let there be a miracle or something. That's how you know God is real. So thank you, Jesus. Thank you to my dad for helping me. Dang, I can't believe this. Like, I'm so happy right now. So I'm going to end it right there. Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up for winning, for fighting my butt off and winning. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you know when I upload. And bye.